All right, guys, so we're going to analyze now a really hot golfer at the moment. He's playing really well, has won a lot of tournaments in the past couple of years. So this is Max Homa. So we've just finished deciphering and having a look at Rory McIlroy's swing and what he does. So let's have a look at Max. So let's have a look at his posture first. So we can see here that, again, a very straight spine angle through here. Max is a little bit more tilted over than Rory. So, and he does bend his knees a little bit more as well. Okay, so if we have a look at his feet line. Okay, so I'm just assuming here that he's aiming pretty much straight down the fairway here. Now, it looks like his left knee his knee line just a little bit left. Okay, so his feet's going pretty straight. His knee line looks just a little left. All right. And also, it's interesting to note, I can kind of see his left arm here. So I can just see the shade of his left arm. So already before he swings the club back, I can kind of see that he might be a little bit of a fader of the ball. Okay, just by the way he's positioned himself. It looks like he's just a tad bit open with his shoulders and his knees. Okay, so now he's roughly about a handspan, so he's got that good distance away from the ball. Now let's take that club back. So we're going to start with just taking his club back just to his first position of his golf swing. So as we noticed before, we said the first position is when the club head and when the club reaches parallel to the ground. So we're going to stop it here. So this is where we can see that the club head really is out in front of his hands. Okay, so he's got his club head way out in front of his hands here. Okay, so like I said before, you'll never see really elite players have the club head behind the hands. They'll typically either be in line with the hands or a little bit in front. Okay, so from here, we're going to go now to the top. So also just to keep notice here is that we're going to look at his hips as well. So as he takes that club back, his hips are starting to turn a little bit. Okay, so he's probably turned at this point maybe 15, 20 degrees with his hips. All right, the club head's out in front of his hands. Now he's going to get to the top of his swing. All the way to the top. All right. So we're getting there. Okay, awesome. All right, so we're at the top of this swing. Now, all right, so if we look at the angle of his left arm and the shaft, we can see that the club head is actually a little bit closed relative to his left arm, okay? Meaning that the club face is pointing a little bit more to the sky, but not that much, to be honest. He's pretty square at the top. He's probably just a little bit closed at the top of his swing there with his club face. All right, so now what we're going to do is just draw a line down from the button of his club all the way down to the ball. All right. Okay, so let's have a bit of a look at what happens on the way down. So you're getting to the top. Let's have a look at his initial downswing. All right, so now he finishes there. So he's pretty much perfectly parallel to the ground here at the top. Okay, so get to the top here. As he comes back down. All right, so now the shaft will go just underneath that white line. He's trying to flatten it out. He's rotating his body. Okay, so the club kind of stays just above the right elbow. Okay, so it stays just above the right elbow. Rory's was a lot flatter. It was kind of a lot more on the inside there, where that's where the shaft would have been for Rory. But now Max has got his up a little bit higher. So I can see here that even though his club face started in front of his hands on the takeaway, and I did mention before, typically you'll see someone who draws the ball like that, but he actually comes through with a shaft a little bit higher up on his right elbow. So this kind of means that he's really trying to hit a fade here. Okay, so now as he comes through, yep, so it still stays above the right elbow here. All right, so coming back through there. Yep. All right, and we can see that he's very, very very neutral through that position. So the club face, if anything, when it returns back to parallel to the ground again, the club head is kind of slightly out in front of the hand. So again, it's indicative of someone who's going to fade the ball. All right, so we saw the shaft be slightly above the right elbow, and he's really rotating hard to the left. Now he's going to come back through. All right, so now we see the club head before the ball. It's kind of traveling now, maybe just a little bit on the outside of the ball. And now he's going to swing through more to the left. Okay. So his path is definitely more of an out to in on the way through. So he's probably an out to in of maybe 1.5 degrees to the left, I would imagine. So he would be like a reliable fader of the ball. And you can see there, even with the ball flight, as you can see through the screen there, the ball is kind of starting probably just a little bit left, and that would be fading back. All right, so a really fantastic golf swing. All right, so it's got a great finish. We can see all of his back shoe, all the hallmarks of a great finish, great balance. Okay, so the biggest difference that we saw there was that on the way down, you can see that he really rotated hard to the left. Okay, and it kept his shaft here above the right elbow coming down. Okay, all the way through. All right. So the difference between his and Rory McIlroy's swing is that Rory really gets the club on the inside coming down, and he travels a bit more of an in to out path on the way through. Okay, both really good golf swings. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. That's another completion of deciphering another Elite Pro swing. Tune in for more, and I will sure to cover some more coming up soon.